You ever felt stuck in life? I know I have. There's been many times, many moments in my life where it seemed like I wasn't really going anywhere. It kind of just seemed like I was just in the same spot, not moving, not doing anything, kind of just stuck. And I just want to say that it gets better. You just have to push through it. I think that we need those moments in our life when we are truly down, when we're feeling the most stuck. We need those moments to give us that extra push, that purpose. I find that in those darkest moments, for me, that's when I find inspiration. That's when things become clear to me. It's like your body is in this moment in time frozen, and then a light shines. Something clicks, something turns on, something starts to make sense. And I found that the trick is to not look for the light. It's to enjoy the darkness, love the darkness, be a part of it. Let it be a part of you. Just let it happen. Because I know that when I've tried to get out of it, it almost feels like I'm doing something wrong, like I'm trying too hard. And it just doesn't feel right. The best way, at least for me, maybe it'll work for you as well, is to just sit with it. Sit with those emotions. Let them take over. Allow them to exist. Because when you really think about it, a lot of those emotions are suppressed feelings, suppressed traumas from the past, whether it's from childhood or yesterday. It stems from somewhere. And when you allow yourself to just sit with it and just let it be, let it happen, it's almost beautiful. There have been times when I've been angry, like really frustrated and angry. I just wanted to punch someone. I wanted to hurt somebody. And what usually happens is I'll be alone with my anger and my frustrations, and eventually I kind of just laugh about it. Like, man, I was so mad. I was so pissed. And it's just funny. And it's like, our emotions are they're so amazing. They're so beautiful. The way that we feel all these things. There's no happiness without sadness. It's all a part of the same spectrum. Where does happiness end and sadness begin? It's just part of the same thing. You're just on this scale, on this spectrum. Maybe you don't feel much, you're kind of in the middle. Maybe you're feeling really sad, you're down at the bottom. Then you feel happy, you go to the top. I mean, where does the where does the light end and the darkness begin? It's the same thing. They're a part of one another. They need each other. Just like our happiness needs sadness. So all these emotions, they're okay. They're okay to exist. We don't have to be angry about them. We don't have to be frustrated about them. Just let them be. And I've realized that life is like a video game. You know, there's levels, there's skills. And just like a game, when you're trying to level up something, you got to do it over and over and over and over again. And then you go up a level. And then you got to do it over and over again. And the next time, you got to earn a little bit more experience to get to the next level. Up until you get to a certain point where you need so much experience to just level up to go up one little level. So, I mean, when you think about it, in a video game, the first couple of levels, they're the easiest, right? For example, riding a bike. It'll take you maybe a few minutes, a few hours at the most to learn to actually ride a bike. That's level 1. Now, ride it for a certain amount of time, takes a little bit more practice, but it's still not too hard. Boom, level 2. You learn how to not use your hands and just ride it, because you know how some people ride a bicycle without using their hands are just in their pocket and they're just pedaling. Maybe that's level 3, right? Until you get to another point where doing tricks, learning how to do tricks would be the next level. And you gotta practice harder than before, all right? And you move on to the next level. Once you learn a trick, boom, you learn another trick, right? And it all takes practice. Same applies to our lives. There's levels, there's skills, there's things that we need to do over and over again in order to advance to the next level. And I think we need to focus on the basics. Do we have the basics down? Right? Before you do tricks on a bike, you gotta know how to ride a bike. Before you run, you gotta know how to move your legs and walk. Before you read a book, you gotta learn how to read a word. And I think that a lot of us, me included, are trying to skip to the end. We're trying to skip to that point where we're just amazing and we have a mastery level at it. And I mean, it's like in a video game. If you cheat, it makes the game not as fun, right? Sure, once you beat the game and you're like a pro at it, yeah, you know, cheats in the game are fun, but that's after you beat it and everything. However, when you start a game and you've never played and then you start cheating in the game, you know, it kind of ruins the experience. Or if you're reading a book, you skip to the last chapter, you read the last chapter, kind of ruins the book. So I think we need to focus on the journey. Focus on where we are right now, the present moment, because this is the only moment that matters in life. Yesterday was today. Yesterday was the present. Tomorrow and the future will be the present moment. We are always living in the present. You cannot live tomorrow. You cannot live yesterday. You just live. You just exist. And you go through life in that manner. So, I mean, let's be present. Let's level up our skills. Let's focus on the now. And let's improve. little by little. I mean, what's the rush? Why are we always trying to get to the end? You don't put on a movie and then skip to the last 5 minutes. You start at the beginning, you enjoy the movie, you let the story, you become involved in the story. It's like you're there, you enjoy it, and then the climax towards the end, right? Or a book, you don't start in the middle of the book. You read from the start and you enjoy it. You go through every chapter and you enjoy the process, the story as it unfolds before you. You can say the same thing for life. You don't start in the middle of life. No, you start as a child, you become a teenager, an adult, all these things happen to you, you mess up, you fall down, you get up, you feel sad, you feel happy, you have good memories, you have bad. It's beautiful. I mean, why would we want to skip all of that and get right to the juicy part when, like, if you just get right to the climax of your life, would it even be worth it if it weren't for all the things that you went through in the past? So let's be present. Let's enjoy this life. And let's keep living.